Excited to be here.
Learn more about that.
Yep. So that's what we're doing. And I'm wearing my Don Vance for President shirt.
Yes.
We'll vote for you, buddy.
Yes. All right.
Now, is that president of the He-Man Woman Haters Club or for America?
I have no comment. All right, here we go. There we go. I've only been doing this for 50 years. I've had a Mac since 85.
Haven't figured it out.
That's but 85 to now, 15 and 25, that's 40 years. Some of you aren't even 40 years old, Courtney. She look at that. You're getting way too much joy out of that, Courtney. All right, here we go. Exactly. So Muslims are strictly monotheistic. Not surprised there. Their claim is that they believe in the Judeo-Christian God. This is not my PowerPoint. So it's actually by definition they don't. But this is where you'd run into some differences. They're going, your God of the Bible. I said, no. But by the way, neither do Jews worship the same God as we do, by definition, since we say that Jesus is deity, and they deny that. But by definition, different God. Historically, we're coming out of that. So yeah, Judeo-Christian God and Islam came out of that. Muslims believe that the Torah and the Bible, like the Quran, is the word of God. But it's more like the Muslim things. And so far as it hasn't been screwed up, which of course it has. Allah is an Arabic word for God, and it is. You'll find that Arabic speaking Christians say Allah. But that is not as clear cut as you might think. The Allah was also a specific deity in pre-Muslim Arab world. It was a moon god. But etymologically, the word does mean God. And even now, depending on where you live, the Muslims don't like Christians using Allah as the title for God. So there were prophets before Muhammad. They believed in the ones of the Bible, but their stories are different. It's not like they're just tacking something on. It's a modification. But here they are, Adam, Ishmael, and so forth. Including, don't forget, Jesus is a prophet. Very much so. They have a high regard for Jesus. It's just not God, but a very high regard. Now, Muhammad was born in 570 AD in Mecca. Now I'm going to pause here because what do I like? Is that a problem with it? You want me to go to dark green or something? You're here. Want to do infrared? No,
Could be vivid colors, that sounds.
that's actually kind of startling.
Oh, I like that. It said that it makes the area around an island like a musical.
Yeah. Makes it look like a what?
Green.
Let's see if Mecca shows up here. It's not on the map. All right. Well, I'd have to, it's not on this map. This is according to Bible software, not Quranic software.
Place like the map.
Yeah, but it doesn't locate everything.
A different map.
That's Mecca. Okay. So he's from there. But I'll tell you what,
It's out in the middle of that. Desert there.
that's,
Kind of.
but I will take your suggestion. And find a map that has Mecca on it.
That my suggestion?
Was that you saying that?
Maybe. I heard. Could have been.
You out loud said, do we need another map? And in my brain, I'm like, can't we just Google another map? But I didn't think I said it.
You Google on an Apple computer? So the Google search will be another one.
Oh, you poor sad man.
Obviously doing DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, that's fair. But you did say Google, so.
It's the ubiquitous.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask Gene.
There you go.
Oh,
Wow, that's going on.
I don't know if you can still do that or not.
Ask who?
Jeeps.
I don't even remember that. That was a Microsoft thing, wasn't it?
No, but
Jeeves, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
it was, I don't think it was Microsoft, it was its own thing. Now it's just ask.com. Ask Jeeves was too. Everything's typing quick, snappy.
All right. Here's Medina and there's Mecca. I was slightly wrong. The crossroads was Medina. Mecca. That's where Muhammad's from. Okay.
Is that closer to Jeddah, it looked like then? I don't know Jeddah.
Any other questions?
I don't know much about that area, sorry.
Okay. I don't either. I lived up here and I haven't been anywhere else. I've been down here, but not over here. And I won't be going over here. And unless you're in the American Army, you're not going there either.
I'm,
The Navy, did they go?
they went to Bahrain before I was.
Bahrain?
But I didn't get to go, so.
That's over here. All right, so meanwhile, back on the ranch.
Oh, there's Medina. Good thing you already found this.
So he's born in Mecca and his life was interesting. His family was well connected and he met a lot of Christian merchants and some Jewish merchants. There's no Muslim because he hasn't invented it yet. But in 610, he gets his first revelation from the angel Gabriel. That stuff is, when you read the account of the revelation, it's demonic. It's the only explanation for it. But he's illiterate, don't forget. He cannot write until he receives these words that he memorizes. The Quran doesn't get written down until later. It was done orally. In 620, he left Mecca for Medina. And this is important date. By the time he died in 613, Islam was a thriving religion. The revelations he received were compiled into the Quran. Quran means to read or to cry out. Yes.
So. When I hear this stuff, when I hear about like John Smith, I think, did this really even happen? Or did they just make all this up? And so, like, I mean, obviously, we don't have proof that he got a revelation from an angel, but
He had some sort of supernatural experience. As did Joseph Smith, who I didn't know who John Smith was. He threw me off there. John Smith was the song, wasn't he?
No, he was.
whatever. You know what I was.
He's the cousin of Joseph Smith. Yeah. But yes. Now, Joseph Smith, I don't think actually had an experience. I think Joseph Smith was a con man and was playing it for all it's worth.
You don't think he was?
No, Muhammad had an experience. It's he's illiterate and he does all that. And it's now what I would attribute the experience to something else. But I think he definitely experienced something. I'm sorry, what? No, it's just the fruit of it. I mean, he created a freaking religion and unified a people group that never was unified. He pulled all this off. And he was a nobody teenager when this happened. And so that's his family had connections, but he didn't. Because his dad had died, his mom was a mess. So it's that he pulled this off. Something was going on. Now, why not?
Says it's denying her access.
Did you want to send her the connect info? Tell her to do that. Because Rick's obviously here. And Lori keeps getting left out because she's out of frame. So the 5 pillars of Islam. The Shahada is your testimony, which, by the way, Mormons do. I want to testify that Joseph Smith is prophet of God and the Book of Mormon is from God. And the Mormon Muslim thing is very similar. Muhammad is prophet. Then they believe in prayer, almsgiving. Does that sound familiar? Prayer, almsgiving, fasting, and the Hajj. You got to make a trip to Mecca once in your life. Hajj is the word for festival as well. Here's the Shahada. There's no God worthy of worship except God, and Muhammad is his messenger. I can't move that thing.
Hey, Don, what's at Mecca? I can't remember.
What?
What is at Mecca where they're doing their pilgrimage to? I wrote a report on it when I was young, but I was thinking it was like a rock.
It's where the shrine is.
Okay. Is there anything in the shrine?
Yeah, there was a temple. Before Islam, it was a temple. It was like a pantheon. There was a temple to the pagan gods. And then it was converted to the Islamic shrine. I was going to escape. Let's go over here.
It's where he's buried, right? There's a tomb there.
We'll find out.
It's saw the part. The green building.
That's the Kaaba, which is that thing I was telling you about. It's the word for cube, Kaaba, which is what it is. and it's been enveloped in this thing. And it's a shrine that's been Muslimized, for lack of a better word. But this is what they go visit, and they swirl around it. They march in circles around it when they go. And I mean, you have to be Muslim to see it, to get in it. They usually go, that's a good question. The Hajj, I don't know if it's at a set date or if sometimes, that's a good question. I will find out. Let's see.
Well, I know that like, here they're having it, they're all.
Well, that's the Jubilee is for the Catholics. There's a Catholic Jubilee. Are they? I'm probably not spelling it right. There it is. Oh, it's two A's. My mistake. Kaaba, because it's a long A. I'm curious if Muhammad's buried there.
Cause I saw like there's a temple with like a green dome where he's buried.
Okay. It's a stone building in the center of Israel's most important mosque on which site. It's the house of God. All right. So they march 7 times counterclockwise. All right. Oh, right there.
I thought you were going slow so you could read it. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Good for you. Oh, the Hajj. So it doesn't have a set date.
And it's on the eighth, or it begins on the eighth day.
So
Where are you looking?
there it says begins on the right.
So between the eighth and 13th.
I think the
day,
thing you
it's
just
on the
covered up.
calendar.
Oh, it begins 8th day. Okay.
You will find
Ends here. Okay. So apparently it is one time. There we go. Yay.
buried in Medina.
Ah. Completely different town. All right.
Now, are we talking about Muhammad? You're saying Muhammad was buried?
Yeah, he says it's in Medina.
Because I thought their faith believed that he ascended to heaven on the
He
rock.
took a trip. He took a trip there, but it's not, he didn't go reside there. He just got to
Oh,
go visit it.
oh,
It's
okay.
actually a journey from Jerusalem to Mecca.
I see.
All right. There it is. I'm sorry, I can't read that Arabic anymore. I'll work on it and get it to you next time. Then for the prayer show, the Muslims, they lay out the carpet and they bow down and they're facing Mecca. And they pray it 5 times a day. And when I was in, and what you don't want to do is get between the prayer and the east. I was at a youth hostel in Egypt. And a guy was praying, I walked in front of him. It was a revelation. He took offense. Oh, sorry, dude. You can see how they're doing that. They will get down on their knees and lay prostrate. It's a whole process. They do it 5 times a day. And this is the almsgiving. 2.5% tithe instead of 10th tithe. And they, suggest that you do more. And they fast. And now Ramadan, they fast during the daylight hours. And at night they break the fast. They do it for a month. And it's an experience. I've never done it. And here's the Hajj. So if you haven't figured it out, Islam is a religion of doing. You do these things. It's quite measured. And it's easy to say you're doing and you're not. And that's what they work at. You can read that. Second largest religion in the world. We have a lot of Muslims here. Nowhere near. Now, well, we're going to get into this. Here's the countries. The largest Muslim country in the world is not Arab. It's Indonesia. And didn't she live there? Did the kids live there too? Go in Pakistan, I teach them every week on Zoom, but they're Christians. So in India, you think of as Hindu. Some conflict big time there. What? That was more political. Well, they're both. It was all part of it, but there's a map. 7 million, it's more like 10 million now. Fastest growing. Well, that's a meaningless figure. And all you gotta do is get a church that triples in size, outpace. So
Not on my top 10, there's population, just a smaller country, I'm assuming. I think that'd be the majority.
Well, I guess it's just not as many. That's a good question. Because it's
Gotta be the dominant religion.
it is, well, Zoroastrianism is there though, too. So, no, Iraq. I'm thinking of Persia, which is Iran, which is right there. Iraq's not a country that we're occupying it, if you recall. Oh. You can read that. I think Michigan, well, they have that Dearborn, where the city is Muslim now. I don't know how many Muslims we got in Oklahoma.
Now, is this broken down by percentage of population of the state or by percentage of the total Muslim population in America?
No, it's the population of the state.
Wow. California.
Yeah, I don't know that. I cannot imagine 20% of California is Muslim.
I think high.
I think it's extremely high.
So why isn't
Yeah, good point. Like I said, I didn't make this. Um, so how do you measure that? I dismiss claims like that. It's growing, but yes, it is, and we don't give figures on that. So there's no people aren't counting it. Here are some the chronology of Islam. And that big enough? I just want to make sure Courtney can read it. Right.
620 was important there.
What?
But 620, you said in the other slide was important.
This is my work now, and not the.
So you don't agree.
I would agree with this. I did this. I don't know where I got that other one. It just showed up. I said, "Oh, it's nice." So we'll use it. No, it was, somebody made it. He gave it to me.
40's a big date in the Bible, obviously. It's interesting that he was 40 when he got it. I thought he was younger than that.
Yeah, I did too. Huh. So the immigration to Medina is the Hijra. That's what gives rise to the Hajj. Not as part of the thing. So Islam was birthed in war. That's how he established it. Everything he had to do, he had to fight. And there's never been a period where there was peace on Islam's borders. Never. From 610 till now. It's always somebody fighting somebody. It's the survival of Islam past Muhammad that's remarkable. He actually pulled something off here. That's why I say he had an experience of some sort to pull this off. Though, of course, I mean, the con man did it with Mormonism, so who knows? Various leaders. We're going to go over these as we go through it, and it'll be a little more meaningful. But there's some Christian crusades. That's an important century. 1000. It just works out. Here's the Indian Revolt. Turkey was a reaction to the Ottoman Empire, and it was a secular state. And now it's going back to its roots. So it's intriguing. They're part of NATO, for heaven's sake. Pakistan found its first Islamic state. Israel, revolt in Egypt, Iranian Revolution. We were. Were you alive in 79? How old were you? Do you really? Sure. Okay. And the Persian Gulf War. And then this one. You were 7? You were young? Okay. All right. So Islam has 2 major groups. The Sunnis, excuse me, and the Shiites. And the Shiites are what's in Iran. Sunnis are everybody else. And then there are branches beneath that. All right. And radical Islam is a small fraction of the total population of the Muslims, about 10%. But when you got French people, they do 10% matters. And if you have a Muslim, for example, at 41st and Memorial, or is it Sheridan? Where that Home Depot is? Sheridan. Across the street from that is a hamburger place run by Muslims from Syria. They're friends of mine. I go there a lot. Very, very good people. And we talk and all kinds of stuff. He's not going to blow me up. And the average Muslim isn't going to blow you up. But when push comes to shove, their religion does matter to them. And so it'd be like meeting a believing Christian. So they're going to stand by their religion. But the danger comes from the radicalized Muslims. Now in Tulsa, there aren't that many mosques. There's one real mosque. And I happen to know the leader of the mosque. I met him, we were talking. He's gone now. But you've heard me tell this story before. He goes, we were talking, he says, imagine if there's only one church in Tulsa. So the Orthodox, the Catholics, the Presbyterians, the fundamentalists, they're all going to the same church. That's what I deal with. They're all together. And yes, we fight over the color of the carpet too. That stuff happens. And it's just, and in fact, he got so tired of me, he's left. He's moved to South Carolina. How many donuts? Oh, go to that. Yeah, that mouse. I don't know. It's a lot. But I don't know. It's a big building. A friend of mine used to go over there and march around it and pray for it. And he would walk all the way around it. And the guards got to know him. And they welcomed him. Because, they saw what he was doing as a positive. And they do have guards there because they never know what's coming, whether inside their own group or outside. So constantly doing it. We'll get into we're going to go through the depths of Islam a little bit and get you a little more familiar with them and what they believe. But the religion of doing is a big deal. In Christianity, we certainly have our sects that believe in Christianity as a religion of doing, keep the law, if you will. But most Christians, it's not. It's a relationship with Jesus. You don't have a relationship with Allah. That's not the way it works. Now, they have a mystical section, the whirling dervishes. So, because people always want an encounter with God, they just do. And so, if Islam's not going to provide it directly, they'll provide it indirectly. And we'll talk about that some too.
So you had to mention the Shia and Sunni. Is that just the two factions?
That's the
in
two major ones.
Arabic? Or
No, it's in
Indians
Islam.
fall into
I mean, the Shiites are in Iran, which is not Arabic. That's Persian. Well, it's a big deal. Believe me.
Yeah.
Make that mistake talking to him.
I saw one of my friends I grew up with, he's Iranian, and posted a picture of like Gupta. He's like, oh, well, that's the Arabic version. And he says the Persian one is called this or something, and he like corrected me because he wanted to make sure those things.
Yeah, no,
So,
no.
but like the Indonesian and all the East Asian, they would fall under the Sunni?
As a rule, yes. Now, just one little note, we'll kind of leave it at this. In Islam, if you don't read the Quran in Arabic, if it's not in Arabic, it's not the Quran. So my English version, which I have like 5 at home, none of those are specifically the Quran because they're all translations and they're all interpretations. Now, 2 of them happen to be Arabic and English, so I don't know where that falls. They so an Indonesian Muslim is going to hear the Quran in Arabic, and unless they learn Arabic, they have no idea what they're listening to. So they have to get told. But a lot of them do learn Arabic, of course. So right. No, it's not one of the pillars. That's up to the because remember it was recited and the imam, the leader of the mosque, will walk you through how to walk it out. And that's the function that the Quran serves, is to provide that information. We'll go into that more deeply. Now, I will be here next week, so we'll continue. Week after that, I'm going to Atlanta for Thanksgiving. Pray for me. Family at Thanksgiving, you know how that's going to go. I'm looking forward to it, actually. So, okay. All right, we're going to close here. And Courtney, would you perform your duty, please? And close us in prayer. Wait a minute. I want Rick and, oh, they already leave? Okay.
We're here.
All right. Well, we're shutting down now. Here we go. Ta-da! All right, Courtney, pray for us, please. What? Oh, no, we can't pray yet. It's Daniel is insisting.